Good morning, folks, or rather afternoon. My morning. How's it going? All right, today I got a repair on the Bass Raider I thought I'd share. So basically, I usually have an elk rack, this guy here, mounted on the front of my trailer. The boat worked its way back on the rack here, and then it wound up being too close to the elk mount, and I went through a ditch, and the elk mount went through my boat. So it's a good size hole, and I figured I'd share how I'm going to try and repair this. So what you're going to want to have here, oh, I actually don't have all my materials with me. Some are in the boat, I think. In any case, what you're going to want to have here, basically, is a heat gun. Oops. A heat gun, some picks, and then to do the actual plastic welding. So that's just going to help to form it back in place. And then to do the plastic welding, you're going to either want a welder, like a plastic welder, or a decent soldering iron, soldering gun or iron, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So right now we're hovering at just above zero. Might be around 5 degrees even. And we're going to kind of use that to our advantage, because this is going to stay relatively stiff as we work on just this bit of plastic. I have to run a generator, and a heat gun, so you're probably not going to hear much. I'm probably going to get rid of the sound, because that's a personal pet peeve of mine, is work noise in videos. It's so annoying. So I'll see how I can do this by just stopping work and like doing quick little shots, I guess. All right, so yeah, we'll start off by heating this up slowly, just in right at here, and then using the pick. I really have no idea. There we go. Using the pick, we'll slowly start pulling it back, and we'll probably wind up with a hole about the size of a button, maybe a little bit bigger. Because I think if you look at it, I didn't realize this before, but if you look at it, there's a bunch of material that appears to have been rubbed off. Like it's not right. Oh, there is some in there too. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, we're gonna want to warm that up and then pull it back out. You're not gonna get it perfect for something this size, but you want to get it as flush as possible, and then we can start welding in strips of plastic. Okay, I'll see you in a few. Okay, so as you can see, I've got that pulled out now by quite a bit. I forgot to mention before, if you don't have picks, you can use Allen keys. So now the next step will be, you're going to want to clean this out pretty good with, isopropanol or isopropyl alcohol or something like that. I'm not entirely sure what's safe, what's not safe to clean these plastics with, so maybe look that up. Most people might say acetone, but it seems almost too aggressive. Anyway, so as you can see, I mean, it's pretty solid already, so it won't be too much worry about structural. And it's funny, like almost no heat, and this was already this area was flexing quite a bit for just a little bit of heat in here. So now what I'm going to do is, I've got strips. Here, I'll show you a little trick. I don't have them here. Okay, well, anyways, in case I haven't mentioned before, or you haven't seen the video where I have mentioned it, there are green water jugs that are plastic like this, and they make for great material. So I might have some of that down in here, or it might be in the boat. If it's in the boat, I'll have to go digging. There we go. So this stuff here, this is part of the can that's kind of hard to cut, but there are some better pieces somewhere around here, like here. There we go. That'll be perfect. So what I like to do is cut little strips. Oops. Getting hooked on stuff on my truck, which is an absolute mess. So what I like to do is cut little strips, long strips, and that works like a welding rod. And then you can just keep feeding it. So what I'm probably going to do is feed it strips, and then I'm going to cut a patch and put the patch over just to be sure. But I'm not entirely positive. We'll see how the strips go. And for the strips, you're going to be using the for the strips, you're going to be using the soldering iron, or if you have a welding gun set up, that's fine. And you're going to want to use the flattest tip you have. This is not really ideal. You want one of these kind of tips on there. There we go. For the most of your work, I find anyways. You can get away with these, but they focus so much heat into a small area that yeah, I don't like running it that well or that much. So I'll be swapping this out, and as you can see, it's already got some plastic on there, tinned plastic. All right, hopefully this video isn't too horrible. I haven't quite finished my first coffee of the day, and yeah, we'll pick up once we get that started. I don't know how well you can hear me here. So you want to start, I find anyways, that you want to start by creating like a good molten pool there, and then hopefully that heat transfers into your material underneath, and that gives you a good base. And we'll see if it's strong here. I'm going to tug on it. Yeah, so that's bonded completely. That's good. And once you have it kind of started like that, it gives you a good idea of how hot you need to get it, I guess, how much you need to spread it to stick to whatever you're doing. So I'll go ahead and finish this up, and we'll do a little video before I put the patch over it. Not sure how much I got of that last bit. So yeah, you don't want to hold this on there too long. You kind of want to just touch it and smoothly glide off. Let that soak up the heat. Now you notice there's a gap in the tip, and if you're moving in the right direction, it'll keep clearing out that gap so nothing builds up into it, and then it doesn't burn and you don't get that brown discoloration that you see here. I wasn't paying attention, but it makes for a good video, I guess. And just slowly let that heat soak in. All right. So we went from that to that, and you can see the overlap we have is about a 1/4 inch or so, maybe a little bit less. But we're, like I said, we're probably going to put a little patch over that, so I'm not too worried about the overlap. Okay, I'll see if I can kind of balance this. All right, there we go. Okay, so again, use overlap. Start your spot weld, basically. Your first weld's like a spot weld. So you don't really want to hold it on too long, or you get a bit of stiction going on. However, the heat soak, if you keep moving, will build up in that material and eventually fuse down into the material below it. See there, we just got it. And that's all you want. Now I could leave that like that, it would harden up and be pretty solid. But we're just going to keep going ahead. Sometimes you do have to stop and wait a little bit for things to solidify. But you want to make sure that you've got a really good bond once you do that. And you can blow on it to cool it off quicker. Now what I like to do, if possible, is get both ends secured. But as you can see, because of the stiction, if that bottom's not cooled off, then then doing stuff with the top will affect the bottom. In the name of hurry the hell up, I'm not gonna bother with cooling it off. Time expediency. Yeah, this is why I don't make videos before I have coffee. But I woke up really late and I didn't want to sit around drinking coffee today, so. Right now, you just wait for that to cool off. And just cut her off like that. Oops. So I wasn't completely bonded. And that's the problem you get if you're not careful about it. Now you don't have to move like that, but like I said, it clears out the tip. You can just pat it, but then you have to clean your tip more often, I find. Now, if you may have thought or realized that the middle is not done, right? So there's a huge gap there. You can kind of see where it, there we go. You can kind of see where it starts leveling out and joining the previous. All right, so had a visitor, so it's dark now, unfortunately. I like to finish up these patches or smooth them out with the router bit in a Dremel. You're gonna want to go basically, let's say we'd be starting at this side and kind of work your way overlapping the passes and just go along and smooth it all out. But also pay a lot of attention to these fine edge details. You're gonna want to make sure, oh, where are we going here? There we go. See how this is lifting up a little bit? You're gonna want to make sure you don't have anything lifting up. You want everything to be bonded in and melded or welded into the other plastic. So you'll go along and smooth out these rough edges, and wherever it's not actually bonded in, you might have to go back over with the heat gun a little bit, with the soldering iron. Once that's all done up, then I'm gonna put that other patch over top of it. I don't think I need to. It's pretty strong. Like, it's got no flex. But I might do it anyways. We'll see. Anyways, I might do the rest of this video in the morning because obviously dark videos suck. So, catch you after. Alright, so I wound up putting the square patch on. And it's actually been a couple days, so it's been through a couple of freezing cycles overnight. And it seems to have stayed in place pretty good, so... Now, what you can do, there's a couple ways you can finish this off. You can use a Dremel with sandpaper and kind of smooth it out. But another way is if you were to put this so that the boat is standing straight up and this is lying flat, tape it off or use tin foil. So either like heat tape or tin foil, and basically shield off the area you don't want to warm up all around it. And I would even maybe overlap onto the seam just a touch. And then basically just with it sitting flat and a heat gun on it, gravity will really help smooth it out. And the shielding would protect the rest of the material. So that's pretty much it. I'm not going to do that for a little while. I'd have to take the boat down to do it. So I'm not even sure how I'm going to finish this. But that's pretty much it. That's how you can patch a substantial hole in your boat. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments, and thanks for watching.